Throughout history, mankind has wondered what lurks out in distant lands, from the legends of faraway islands to that of stories which put explorers on a pedestal once they returned back to their homeland. One such story is of Edmund Spenser, a renowned news reporter for the New York World in the 19th century. He described receiving a letter from the botanist Carl Leech, who had discovered a remarkable species of plant, the Crinoidea degina, on the isolated island of Madagascar. This man-eating tree was extravagant in looks, surrounded by what can only be described as rope-like vines. It was used as a form of torture by the members of the Makodos tribe, and as a sacrifice to this most wonderful of creations, the tribe forced one of their own women to climb to the top of the isolated tree. With arrowheads pointed at her, the men shouted, "Tepe, tepe," which translated to "drink, drink." The woman drank an oozing brown substance from the cone-shaped leaves. As soon as she started to drink, the vines of the tree instantly came to life. They wrapped around the woman and slowly but surely constricted around her neck and torso. Slowly her screams turned into gurgled moans. As the vines wrapped around tighter and tighter, her blood and fluid slowly trickled down the trunk of the tree. The tribe quickly rushed forward and started to drink the mixture of blood and tree fluid. They then ensued in a grotesque and indescribably hideous orgy. He also concluded in his letter explaining that he further studied this carnivorous plant for another 3 weeks, and in that time he discovered several other smaller specimens and witnessed one tree eating a lemur. Many different newspapers picked up on Carl Leech's story. The masses were engaged. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a number of explorers left for Madagascar. Frank Vincent left during the early 1890s. However, his quest came back empty-handed. Another was Captain Delamotte Hurst. A newspaper article quoted him as saying, "I have been told about the tree by many chiefs on the island, and I have no doubt of its existence. It eats human beings, and since the natives worship it, they are reluctant to reveal its location." The popularity of this man-eating tree led to other claims of carnivorous plants. One originated from the British naturalist Mr. Dunstan, who whilst exploring the depths of Nicaragua had encountered the notorious vampire vine. He described during his expedition in one of the swamps which surrounded the Great Nicaragua Lake, where he heard his dog howling out in pain. From a distance, he saw what looked like a weeping willow, and entangled in between the branches was his dog. As he rushed over to see what the commotion was about, he realized his dog was struggling to get out of the grasp of this monstrosity. The thick vines were oozing what looked like tar. Fighting against the rope-like projections with only a knife, he managed to cut down the branches which enveloped the dog. With the limbs of the vampire vine now severed, they retracted and curled up. Looking at his dog, he saw its skin puckered up in spots. The poor dog collapsed in exhaustion, and whilst Mr. Dunstan had won the fight, his flesh was red and blistered. Nature is no stranger to carnivorous plants. Examples include the Venus flytrap, which captures prey by snapping its jaw-like leaves shut when an insect lands. Other examples include flypaper traps, which use a sticky glue to trap their prey, and pitfall traps, which have a specialized leaf rolled into a tube containing digestive enzymes to break down prey that succumbs to the sweet nectar secreted onto the leaf. The discovery of small carnivorous plants in the late 18th century opened up a Pandora's box into the imaginations of those wanting to seek more. Surely if smaller plants existed, something much larger and sinister must also be lurking out in the wilderness. Many were left empty-handed on their expeditions to find the ultimate monster plant, and so their minds created a narrative which they could tell to their people when they returned back. Books, movies, and even video games mention large man-eating plants which move, are alive, and seek out the destruction of humanity. And whilst any man-eating plants have yet to be discovered, there are a few contenders which can kill a fully grown adult. The Mangino tree, also known as the little apple of death, is native to North and South America. It is so toxic and deadly that standing beneath it can cause a person's skin to blister and burn. Eating the apple-like fruit of the tree will cause a peppery sweet aftertaste, followed by internal bleeding and shock. It is so dangerous that burning fumes from the wood of the Mangino tree will cause blindness. Both the stories of Edmund Spenser and Mr. Dunstan were found to be hoaxes. Nature is known to work in very mysterious ways. After all, there are many regions which we have not yet fully explored, and a portion of the Amazon rainforest, almost the size of India, has yet to be ventured into. So whilst humans are known to make astoundingly extravagant stories, is it possible that in the depths of the unexplored there may be a carnivorous tree or plant big enough to trap and digest animals as big or even bigger than humans? Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. This is our very first video. We really look forward to bringing you more content in 2022, and as this channel is starting out, we would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Thank you very much.